please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, the Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Watch out, and he scored! And we're live.
Hey everybody. So the NHL dropped their reverse retro jerseys for all 31 NHL teams this morning, finally giving us a look at the jerseys in full and seeing what they look like. Over the last few days, they had been dropping a lot of teasers, but we finally get to see everything and see what these jerseys will look like and what these teams will be wearing in the coming season when they do wear their reverse retro jerseys. So As with any jersey drop, especially one of this magnitude, there's a lot of opinions flying around. And in this video, we are going to look at what I think personally are the 5 best reverse retro jerseys and the 5 worst reverse retro jerseys. So before I begin, I just ask that you please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Both of those things help out a lot and are much appreciated. So I just want to say that this is strictly just my opinion. So there's going to be, this is something that's very subjective and really comes down to personal taste and what you like in a jersey and what you don't. So I'm sure there are going to be plenty of people that disagree with me on these and other people that agree. And there's going to be a lot of people who might agree on one jersey but not on another. It's perfectly fine to have different opinions on this. It's not something to get upset about. It's a very, very subjective thing that just comes down to personal taste. I'll come right out and say a lot of these jerseys I was very kind of in the middle on, very meh. They're okay, not spectacular, but not terrible either. There weren't a lot that jumped off the page at me as some great grand slam design that I absolutely loved and have to go get. But there weren't a lot that I looked at and were like, wow, that's terrible either. Kind of in the middle on a lot of them, but some certainly I think are better than others, and some stood out as pretty nice, and others I look at and go, I really don't like that. So that's what we're going to look at here, starting with the good, the 5 best reverse retro jerseys in my opinion, starting with number 5, the Calgary Flames. They bring back the horse head logo, which they had in the early 2000s, which I really like. And I love when the Flames have a black alternate jersey because, they're so red. And they should be red. I love the Flames home jerseys. I always have. I love their away jerseys as well. But the Flames are always very red, as they should be. But it's nice to change it up with a third jersey, and that's what this is. It's a third jersey, and they go black with it, with obviously the red and yellow secondary colors and striping, and then they bring back the horse head logo from the early 2000s, which I am a huge fan of and always loved those as a third jersey. Didn't so much like them as a regular jersey, but as a third, I think they're really nice. So that gets Calgary to number 5 on my list. It's a nice throwback to times when I was first starting watching hockey. Number 4, the 4th best one in my opinion, is the Carolina Hurricanes, bringing back the Hartford Whalers logo / colors. And again, this one probably would have been number 1 if it wasn't for one thing, and that is this jersey's base color is that silvery gray. It would have been so much better if it was a white base. I would have liked a white base color so much better. But it still makes my list of top 5 because of the Whalers green and blue, which are some of maybe the greatest jersey design colors of all time. I absolutely love the Whalers colors. And despite it being a silver base, the green's still there, the blue is still there. So that saves this jersey for me and has it still be one of the best because everything Hartford Whalers related is one of the best when it comes to jersey and logo designs. And yeah, if it's Whalers, it's going to be in my top 5 most likely. The only thing, again, I just wish the jersey was white base instead of that silver, but still a top 5 jersey in my opinion. Number 3, and I know that there are probably a lot of people who have this even higher on their list, but number 3 to me is the Colorado Avalanche, throwing it back to the Quebec Nordiques logo and branding. And, I mean, it's Quebec Nordiques. It definitely belongs on the top 5. The thing that doesn't move this up to number 1, in my opinion, is the fact that it's using current Colorado colors, which I love. I love the Colorado's Avalanche color scheme. I think it's easily top 5 in the league as far as color design goes. But for a Nordiques, when I think of the Quebec Nordiques, it's not the logo that jumps out as the greatest for me. It's the colors. The old Nordiques colors with that gorgeous blue, the gorgeous light blue, the red and the white contrasting with that and adding to that as the secondary colors. And this, in my opinion, would have been so much better if they just went back to, like, just take the 1990s Quebec Nordiques jerseys and wear those, and that would have probably been higher on my list. But they take the Nordiques logo, they put in the current Colorado colors with the burgundy and that light blue that they have, and obviously white as well. It's a white-based jersey, so it's still a great jersey. It's great to see the Nordiques logo back, but it's would have, in my opinion, I would have liked to see actual Quebec colors. That would have made this pretty close to number 1, if probably number 1 on my list if they had done that. But still, gorgeous uniform, and it's nice to see Nordiques back. Number 2, my second favorite of these reverse retro jerseys, belong to the Minnesota Wild. And why? Minnesota North Stars colors are back. The North Stars jerseys are one of my all-time favorites, and I think one of the most underrated all-time NHL jerseys. Absolutely love the green and yellow combination. Obviously, this is white-based with the green and yellow of the old North Stars jerseys, with the current Wild logo on it. With the head on it. I love it. I just love seeing this green and gold back in the NHL. The Minnesota North Stars green and gold back in the NHL. Doesn't get any better than that. Again, I think one of the most underrated jerseys of all time, or what the North Stars used to wear back in the 80s. And I absolutely love it. So it's incredible to see it back on a current jersey. And that automatically gets it top 3 for me, coming in at number 2. But that leaves number 1, my absolute favorite of these reverse retro jerseys that I've seen drop today, the LA Kings. And it was hard to find a good picture of it. These just came out, so finding pictures in general was hard. But or at least good pictures in general were hard. But this LA Kings jersey is incredible. It throws it back to the old purple and gold days, but brings in the 90s crest logo, which they had in their silver and black days. So it's a great combination of bringing different eras together. And this purple is gorgeous. The royal purple is absolutely gorgeous, one of my absolute favorites, and that just instantly launches this to number 1 on my list. It just doesn't get any better. And then obviously they have the yellow, and the gold yellow that just offsets that royal purple so well. It is a royally good jersey, fitting of the LA Kings. And while a lot of the Kings' most recent jerseys I haven't been a big fan of, the throwbacks I love, and this is an absolutely incredible reverse retro jersey. Easily my number 1 favorite. So that brings us to the bad now. We've looked at the good, that brings us to the bad. My least favorite reverse retro jerseys. And this one I know already I'm going to get a lot of flack for, but I just personally don't like it. I know a lot of people do, but it's the Winnipeg Jets. I do not like the gray. They throw back to the early 80s Winnipeg Jets logo, their first logo in the league, and I generally really like Winnipeg stuff. I really usually like their stuff. I just hate this gray base. The Winnipeg Jets are not a gray team. They're a blue team with red and silver and white as secondary colors. I just don't like gray for the most part in general as a base color. I think it can be used very well as a secondary color and as trim and as striping and things like that. But as a base color, I'm not a fan of gray to begin with the exception of Vegas. I do like Vegas's jersey, but that's a different situation where they have great complementary colors to that, and the gold complementing that makes a big difference. Winnipeg should not have a gray-based jersey, in my opinion. And gray and dark blue do not mesh well together, and I just don't like it. I just don't like the gray. It's too... it's not what they should have. Again, I'd like Winnipeg so much better if they just wore their jersey from the 1980s. Just wear a jersey from 1981, and there you go. I'd like that so much better than this. It's the gray. It's the gray base that does it. I just don't like it. Number 4, my fourth least favorite jersey is my home team, the Boston Bruins. This yellow is putrid. I get what they were going for, but again, the Bruins should always have black-based jerseys, in my opinion. They should be black with the yellow and white as secondary colors. Obviously, away jerseys would be white-based, but their dark home jerseys should always be black, not yellow. And this yellow, I just do not like. It's sometimes you can get away with a good yellow as a base color. This is not a good yellow. There's just something, I don't know if it's not dark enough or if there's just something off about the hue of it. I just do not like this yellow, and that obviously most of the jersey is this color. It ruins the entire thing for me. So I do not like Boston's reverse retro jerseys. The yellow is just gross. Number 3, and I know I'm going to get flack for this one as well because there's going to be a lot of people that do like this one. But for me, it's the Anaheim Ducks with the Wild Wing coming back, and it's just so cheesy and cartoony. And if you know anything about what I like and don't like in jerseys, I do not like cartoony jerseys. And this is, I mean, look at this. It's a cartoon. It's literally a cartoon on the jersey. It's very 90s. The NHL did a lot of very cartoony jersey stuff in the 90s, and they're throwing it back to that. But I'm not a fan personally of any of that. When you make something a cartoon, you make it kind of a joke, in my opinion, and that's what I've never liked cartoony stuff on jerseys, and it literally makes it kind of a joke. And this looks like something that some 10-year-old would design and want to like color in a coloring book, not an NHL jersey. And I had that problem. I have that problem with a lot of the 90s NHL stuff that they did that was very cartoony. I didn't like any of it, and I don't like this. I don't like Wild Wing. I think it kind of is very cheesy and jokish, and I'm just not a fan of it at all. So that is the number 3 least favorite jersey in my opinion. Bring us now to the top 2. Number 2, the Nashville Predators. Man, again, with the yellow. Just like with Boston, again with the yellow. A yellow-based jersey is very, very hard to get to actually look good. And again, I'm not a fan of any of it being yellow-based. Now, this yellow, I think, is better. Let me go back and look at Boston's and see kind of the differences here. Yeah, Boston's yellow is worse than Nashville's yellow. But again, I'm not a big fan. And again, I have trouble finding Nashville jerseys that I like in general. I don't like their current jerseys. The only Nashville jersey that I've even really remotely liked is when they had the blue based jerseys back in like the mid 2000s, and it was blue based with the yellow and the silver kind of being as secondary colors. Those even were just okay, but I like those a lot better than anything yellow based that they have done. This is another yellow-based jersey for Nashville, and I just cannot get into Nashville Predators jerseys. I don't like the colors. One saving grace about this one is the silver sleeve, like down the shoulder. I do like that, but as long as it's yellow-based, I'm probably not going to like it. And Nashville is another one on the list where I just don't like it because of the yellow, and I think they would have been much better off going back to a blue-based jersey like they had in the mid-2000s. All right, so there's my top 4 least favorite, excluding number 1. And what I will say up to this point is all of these jerseys, even the ones that I don't like, have something redeeming about them, have something I do like about them, and are a decent jersey in some respect, and aren't absolutely putrid and terrible. That brings us to number 1 now, which is by far my least favorite jersey. that they released today. And to me, there is absolutely nothing redeemable about this one. This is a complete joke that this is even an NHL jersey. And it's the Detroit Red Wings. What the hell is that? That looks like a practice jersey at best. That literally looks like the cheap, like just see-through practice jersey that you get at, when you're playing high school hockey and they just need a color for your line or something. Like, yeah, blue line, get out there. White line, get out there. This literally looks like a practice jersey. What even is this? It's so boring and bland and just nothing. There's barely any red on it. They're the Detroit Red Wings, and they barely have red on their jersey. Other than the logo and the lettering / numbers, there's no red on this jersey. It's white everywhere with a needless gray. That gray isn't even a Red Wings color, not even a secondary color. They're strictly white and red. This gray comes out of nowhere. It's terrible. Oh my God, this is by far, in my opinion, the worst jersey. It's literally a practice jersey. It looks horrible. It's bland. It's boring. There's nothing redeeming about it. Here maybe could somewhat redeem this jersey for the Red Wings. Everywhere that's gray, you make that red. So picture this. Make that red. Then maybe add some like thinner striping on the top and the bottom of the sleeve and make that red as well. Then maybe you have a slightly better jersey. Even if you left the gray where it is and put some red striping around it, maybe that would redeem it a little bit. But just the fact that this is just white with gray striping, which isn't even a Red Wings color, this is just a brutally bad jersey in my opinion. This is the only one. I have others that I don't care for. They're still decent. They're okay. I'm not looking at them and like that's gross or like I just don't want to even see this on the ice. This Red Wings jersey, I don't want to see on the ice. This is not a good jersey. This belongs at practice and practice only. And that's literally all I can say about it is that it looks like a practice jersey. It's boring. It's bland. There's barely any red. It brings nothing to the table. I absolutely hate this jersey. So Detroit's is by far and away my least favorite jersey out of these retros. So there you have it, guys. That's just my opinion. The ones I like and the ones I don't like. My 5 favorite, my 5 least favorite. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Again, this is very subjective, so I'm sure that there are some of these that you absolutely love that I don't. There are probably some that I like that you don't. And there's probably all sorts of opinions in between as well. But with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description. If you'd like to further support the channel, links to our Patreon merchandise store and donation link are in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.